Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is NXT coming to you live from Full Sail University in Florida. Tonight, NXT's road to proving itself to be the still strong, now fourth brand continues on. But tonight as well, we have a rematch from last week. Bret Hart, set to prove that what happened between himself and EC3 was nothing more than a fluke, has challenged EC3 to an NXT Global Championship matchup here tonight. EC3 accepted the challenge, and there we go. It has been made official for tonight. Our main event, EC3, Bret Hart, Global Championship, one you do not want to miss out on. But as for the rest of the night, it is still big times for NXT. One more debut to be made, but at the same time, some more people sent down from the main rosters down to NXT, only helping to make the brand stronger. This is going to be one interesting night once more for the NXT brand, but we're going to kick things off with the People's Champion, The Rock, finally making his debut at Full Sail. That is right, while The Rock is making his NXT debut, that does not mean by any accord whatsoever it's going to be an easy matchup for him. His opponent's still a tough challenger in Michael Elgin. So that being said, this hefty man, I don't really know what to say, but Michael Elgin is one tough opponent, whatever way you look at it. Even if his record does not speak does not show that, what he can do in the ring does indeed tend to show that. He is one hell of a strong kind of wrestler, powerhouse in many aspects, and that is what makes Elgin a little bit difficult to deal with. But maybe, just maybe, The Rock can use it to his advantage somehow. Use his own powerhouse stance to his advantage and pick up the win here. Michael Elgin can play a huge spoiler though on this man's debut, as Full Sail is electrified by the arrival of The Rock. Took him long enough, but he's finally decided to show up to NXT and make his debut here at Full Sail. We saw The Rock at NXT TakeOver. He tried to win the NXT Global Championship, but that was the first time that he had been seen in an NXT ring. And now here tonight, The Rock gets ready to try and defeat Michael Elgin and get his NXT career off to a successful start. Of course, judging by what we saw last week, when you make your debut on NXT around this time, you're going to get a very, very strong start. You're going to get off on the right foot. Just ask Tyler Bate from last week, Ruby Riot, and perhaps the biggest acquisition by NXT in some time, Hiroshi Tanahashi. While we will only be seeing out of those Ruby Riot in action here tonight, it still goes to show though that this NXT roster is just getting better and better every single day, and it just kind of begs the question: with some who've made their debut, how long will they have to wait before they come back, before they're up to the main roster? Well, that'll be a question for another day, it seems. But right now, The Rock getting set for this one against Michael Elgin. The Rock, while he may have a huge name to follow into him, he is not doesn't have the most successful record in this universe. So that is just kind of, I guess, something that you've just got to take with this universe. It is always difficult around here to actually keep a strong form of momentum going on, but now NXT, of course, I keep on trying to reiterate, as I keep on trying to have to remind myself, not a brand anymore. We're developmental talent, not a brand where you go and make a name for yourself. It's a brand now. It's basically a fourth brand, but in some aspects still a developmental one. Just ask Apollo Crews, Rich Swann, who of course made their ECW debuts earlier in the week. Well, now we focus on this matchup. What have we got on here? Well, no, before we do, actually, what have we got for us here tonight? We've got, I believe, up next is the Heath Slater Open Challenge, baby, where Heath Slater will host yet another Open Challenge, because they've gone nothing but a barrage of success for the man, and he will go one-on-one against the man who I amped up last week as saying still yet to make his debut. He will be doing so this week. I mean, if it's bigger than Tanahashi, it won't be bigger than Tanahashi because he's not main eventing. But it's still going to be a nice debut to pay attention to, and I'm looking forward to seeing who it is. Speaking of debuts, then we have a tag team matchup, women's tag team matchup. We have the iconic duo of Billie Kay and the now former NXT Women's Champion Peyton Royce taking on Ember Moon and the woman who made her debut last week against Beth Phoenix. That, of course, is Ruby Riot. That was going to be an interesting one. Then we got a fatal four-way matchup, kind of a showcase matchup for some of NXT's talents, also featuring two men sent down from the main roster. I'm going to spoil it for you now, just for the sake of it, just because I was told the matches. But what we've got for you is, let me just try and quickly remember. Actually, wow, I have forgot it, so don't worry. It's Booker T, yeah, Cedric Alexander, Ty Dillinger, and Pentagon Jr. So Dillinger and Pentagon Jr. being sent down from SmackDown and ECW. Pentagon Jr. perhaps to become a future main eventer around here, but he was just unable to kind of break into a role, kind of break into the swing of things in ECW, and therefore had to be sent down here. And for our main event, of course, advertised earlier, we are going to be seeing EC3 and Bret Hart going at it. And there is no worry about any threat of a DCC or anything like that. They are not here tonight. Sabin deciding after last week that it is just not time for the DCC to show up on this brand, and especially with perhaps there being a situation between Chris Sabin and Corin, following what Corin had to say last week on NXT. We'll see what's going to happen regarding that as the weeks go by, though, but for the DCC's sake, I would hope that nothing big comes out between Sabin and Corin, because right now they are not in a stage where they can afford slip-ups like that. The leader of the DCC is almost at a breakdown, basically, following TakeOver. But anyway, focusing back on this matchup right now, The Rock with the spine bust out of Michael Elgin. And he's getting in position. He's looking for it. He's looking for the most electrifying move in all of sports entertainment. The Rock throws the elbow pad, loads it up, does the run up, and people's elbow. And there's the finishing move of this match, I think. Elgin still waiting for that strong start here on NXT, still waiting for that victory. But as for now, The Rock, no! The Rock isn't victorious. Elgin gets the shoulder up. Uh-oh. But he may have just caused himself to be in an even worse position. Rock in position, ready to strike. Got him now. Rock bottom. There it is. Thank you very much, Michael Elgin. The Rock just allowed himself to deliver more of a beat down on your candy ass. There's 1, 2, and still Michael Elgin kicks out. Alright, well, that's actually a little bit surprising. Elgin kicking out of 2 finishes there. And The Rock now has to continue going here with his offense. Or not. Look at the strength there of Elgin. Even after what has been thrown at him thus far, he's still fighting back against The Rock. Trying not to be outdone here by the debut of The Rock on NXT. Elgin just trying to get his name in the headlines as well. You've got to give credit. It's a good idea. Rock into a roll-up, though, on Elgin. Rolling up Michael Elgin here. Will he have him? There's 2, and no. Elgin kicks out. Rock seemed poised to try and get the victory with that when they kept it locked in no matter what. And there's another reversal by Michael Elgin. Able to read The Rock's movements there and use that to his advantage. Elgin might be in trouble, though. Back suplex. And The Rock sends him down. Rock now going to go for the sharpshooter. On to Michael. Oh, Michael Elgin in a precarious position with the sharpshooter locked in. He's going to have to crawl to make it to the ropes. Will he be forcing a break, though? Yes, he will. Rock sent flying back somewhat. And oh, what a shoulder tackle there by Elgin. And now, despite all that's gone on in this matchup, Michael Elgin still able to fight in it. Still refusing to give in. But The Rock does not take too kindly to that. There's a counter by the People's Champion. Irish Whip reversed by Elgin. And there is just incredible strength by Michael Elgin to throw him way up in the air there for that maneuver. This debut may not have gone the way The Rock wanted it to go, but then again, with a tough opponent like Elgin, you got to take the opportunities that are presented to you. If Elgin makes a slip up, you've got to capitalize on it. Knee in the head, and The Rock instantly now. Another rock bottom. That is capitalizing on a moment. That is the NXT way. They slip up, well, you just slid your way into victory. The Rock, following another rock bottom, goes into the cover, and this time puts away Michael Elgin and is victorious in his NXT debut. There we go. That's much better. The Rock gets the win when it matters, but at the same time, it was a very strong performance by Michael Elgin in his own right. He gave it his all in that one. And at the end of the day, it was not enough, though, to deny the Great One the opportunity that he wanted, to deny the Great One the debut he wanted. The Rock, your winner here, and hopefully for his sake, this is how his NXT career will go. Could we be saying down the line, your new NXT champion, The Rock? That remains to be seen, but right now, certainly doing a good job. Certainly got off to a strong start, at least. Going to move on now to our next contest, Heath Slater Open Challenge, baby. Let's see what this newly debuting superstar is able to do against the one-man band. I'm just one man. Well, this has not gone well for Heath Slater in the vast majority of times that he's performed this, and for all we know, this could go the very same way again. What's happened the times before when he's done this? We've had Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Corin. Yeah, I'm just seeing a string of not going well for Slater, but tonight he's destined to try and turn it around. Slater says that this one is the one that matters. He is going to spoil the debut of this man, and everyone's going to realize just how great Heath Slater really is, and how he is your next NXT champion. You keep that about you, Heath. It's always good to have some kind of confidence around you. But well, we'll see who it is. Heath Slater ready in the ring for his opponent. Let's find out who he's got to deal with. Mysterious lighting. Theme I haven't heard. Good start so far. We'll eventually find out who it is. He's keeping us in suspense right now, it seems. NXT audience deeply waiting to find out who this is. Oh! Well, as if it wasn't enough to pick up one starlet from the United Kingdom, they went with two. The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. Someone who has been a member of British Strong Style with Tyler Bate, and now Pete Dunne adds himself to the NXT equation. A strong debut right there. A strong acquisition as well. And Heath Slater just literally cannot be bothered to give a shit. But it is a very good, it is a really good signing indeed by NXT to cap off their newest signees, really. Talent from all around the world, and what better way? You had Japanese Strong Style in the last week. Now you got British Strong Style greeting you here tonight. Well, let's see what's going to happen. What can Heath Slater do against Pete Dunne? That is what we are about to find out. Pete Dunne is, don't let his size, confuse you. Don't get too, don't let her look over. Just because he isn't the biggest of men doesn't make him the scariest. This man is out and out one of the toughest brawlers out there. One of the hardest strikers there is. I would say perhaps the strongest striker within the British independent circuit. And, well, now here, he graces NXT with his presence, and Heath Slater's going to get an almighty idea of just how Pete Dunne operates around here. Got to assume Tyler Bate, who's probably backstage, is either happy to see this or he is a little bit on the fence about it. That is just one of those things that you just can't guess. You just got to... Well, we'll find out maybe as time goes on, but right now, Pete Dunne just Irish whipping Heath Slater twice there just for the sake of it, and oh, what a slam that is down on the back. Into the cover right away here on Slater. Heath Slater still kicking out though. Still kicking out, it's the first cover of the match, but he's still got a 2 count, nicely done. Oh, what a kick in the back there. Slater really not off to a good start here. Your future NXT champion, ladies and gentlemen, as he put it. Here we go. Is he going to get a move in? Is he going to nail a suplex? He's got him up. Heath Slater with a suplex. Find him back right now against Pete Dunne. And oh, wow. That is probably not the taunt you want to be doing at that moment in time. Heath Slater, though, still trying to just, don't know, put on this facade, I suppose it is, that he believes, oh, he's the rightful contender for the NXT Championship, but he just got floored by an almighty headbutt by Pete Dunne. Step up enziguri. That corked him in the skull. You know how effective that move can be as a signature. Just ask the former NXT champion, but Heath Slater right now, not giving him a an opportunity to get, oh, well. You wanted it, Heath, and you've got it now. You wrote your own deathbed. Oh, the bitter end. Busted open, but Pete Dunne is not done. Hey, that's funny. Pete Dunne is not finished yet. Heath Slater still with yet more to pay for. Suplex. Snap suplex there. I mean, this is one way to make a name for yourself on your debut. To nail your finisher and then to just go after the opponent continuously. Slater, I don't imagine, has been busted open in some time. But he's still trying to fight back right now. Who would have thought that? Give him credit for trying, at least. Heath Slater, well, he got a move in. Look at the strength there of the Bruiserweight. Has him up there in that gorilla press. And oh, what an uppercut. I'd go for the cover after that. I think he's down and out. Done. Into the cover. Using the ropes just for the sake of it. There's 2. There's 3. Your winner is Pete Dunne. That was perhaps the most dominant debut we've seen yet. Talk about just complete destruction. Pete Dunne just walked all over Heath Slater and will gladly have his arm raised up as the winner of this one. Oh, that doesn't look good. Dunne is second guessing. Dunne's going to use it to send a message. Pete Dunne now, the Bruiserweight, taking a beating onto Heath Slater just to get his name out there even further. Well, there's one way to not only make a dominant debut, but to get your name on the map as well. Pete Dunne certainly leaving his effect on the on the NXT universe and certainly on Heath Slater as well. But right now we move on. For the first time since NXT TakeOver, there is Peyton Royce. There is the iconic duo of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay getting ready for tag team action here tonight against Ember Moon and Ruby Riot. These two women who have become far closer with one another recently and are certainly going to try and use their friendship to gain a victory here tonight. Let's see if that'll happen, and let's see if Peyton Royce can put what happened to TakeOver past her and just kind of move on from it. But with that being said, it may be a case of way easier said than done. I mean, this is not one of the... For Peyton Royce, maybe it's one of those instances you can't just put behind her. It's not as if, you know, it's just a loss. She lost a title that she had held close to her, that she was clutching close to at every moment she could. So, maybe here tonight, she might take her anger out on Moon and Riot, or maybe she might let her anger get the best of her, and it may cost her the match. Certainly right now, the iconic duo trying to get the spotlight off Ember Moon. And, well, I was about to make my point, but it seems as if the iconic duo want none of the entrance of Ember Moon. They have to be held back right now. Ember Moon doesn't even want to finish off her entrance. It seems as if we're getting right into this one. I'm not too sure why this is the case, but they were getting a little bit brash and overconfident in the ring, and now this matchup has begun, I guess. That was a really weird start, but it's a good thing that Ruby Riot was there right behind Ember Moon. It was a bizarre start, to be fair. Not too sure why Ember Moon didn't just continue doing her entrance. It's not like it didn't look like they were going to start running up the ramp after her, but for whatever reason, that just happened. Ember Moon started things off with that jacket and that little... and the cover over her face still on as well. That may restrict her breathing. And, oh, stiff headbutt. And another one. A trio of headbutts there by Billie Kay as the iconic duo able to perhaps get in the heads and the mind of, well, certainly of Ember Moon. And that has enabled them to get up to a start. A strong start, I should say. But Ember Moon quick to counter there. Now that she's into a normal apparel for wrestling. And here we go. Nice forearm shot in the face. And a Hurricanrana as well. Not too sure if I made the point already, but you know, all three of these women have felt the wrath of Nikki Cross. Billie Kay felt it a few weeks before TakeOver. Peyton, Royce, of course, felt it at TakeOver. And Ember Moon felt it back at TakeOver Dallas when she lost the NXT Women's Championship, and then the rematch a week later to become NXT Women's Champion. So they've all felt how hard the NXT Women's Champion can strike, all except the woman currently on the floor in the ring right now, Ruby Riot, who made her debut last week in a very strong fashion as well, it has to be said, against Beth Phoenix. Beth truly gave it her all in that one, but it was just not enough. Ruby Riot just too fired up upon her debut to let it stop her, and what a win this could be for Ruby Riot. She'd get a win already over a former NXT Women's Champion just 2 weeks into her debut on this roster. It would be an incredible moment for Ruby Riot, and she's off to a great start right now, working on the neck of Peyton Royce. Royce, you got to assume, though, wants to get some fight back going in this one sooner rather than later, so she's not becoming almost an embarrassing point, but this is looking painful for the former women's champion. Peyton Royce about to have one hell of a downfall. Double back suplex there from the second rope, as Ember Moon is now the legal woman in this match. Oh, nice chop. Oh, drop kick there, and Royce now starting to get a little bit fired up. She's going to go right to the top rope here. Will she hit or miss with this one? Top rope elbow drop. Nailed it onto Ember Moon. And now it seems perhaps, I didn't know if she wanted to make the target to Billie Kay or not there, but she was just taunting whatever she's doing. Ember slowly getting up to her feet right now. And caught from behind there by Peyton Royce with a Russian leg sweep. Royce able to hold her own right now and prove why she was the former NXT Women's Champion. But there's a quick fight back by Ember Moon to stop that from continuing on. But it was only temporary. Peyton Royce now reverses. But oh, great counter there on the knees there by Ember Moon. And look at those strikes there, just unloading away on the former women's champion. Suplex, quick float over into a cover. Forearm across the face. Didn't hook the legs though, and Royce of course able to kick out because of it. Up high now is Moon. Frog splash. Very nicely done as well. Was that frog splash. Irish whip now, countered by Peyton Royce. That was not the smartest idea that Ember Moon has ever had. Irish whipping them in the direction of their corner. Billie Kay now the legal woman in this matchup for her team. Double team move nailed on to Ember Moon, and Ruby Riot floors the referee in order to break that one up. We just had a neck breaker on them. Ember Moon is just not in the mood to get up, it seems. And now Ruby Riot does manage to break that one up. Well done, Ruby. Billie Kay now going to take it up to the top rope. She's going to look to fly here. Took too long. It took too long really because she had her in that cover for so long. She didn't try and capitalize in any way, shape or form. And she paid for it right there. Oh, Ruby Riot tagging herself in here now. The counterculture kind of chick that she is, who I found, of course, so I said last week I had no idea who she was. And then I went on to find out that she was... But I did actually know who she was on the indie circuit. But That's not what we're focusing on right now. What we're focusing on is what she's able to do here against Billie Kay, and how she's able to perhaps turn this match around in their favour. It was a little bit difficult for the team until the tag was made. Riot now unloading with offense. Great arm lock Northern Lights suplex there. What's the term I'm looking for? Inventive. There we go. Innovative. That's the word I'm looking for. Very innovative maneuver by Ruby Riot. She continues to go to work here now on Billie Kay. There's that neck crank again. Certainly managing to do a number right now, and leg drop by Ruby Riot. What will we see from her here now? She has got Kay on the ground, and she is just exploding away with offense. This is going just the way Ruby Riot wanted it to go. Up now. Oh, there's the move that I've still forgot the name for, but all I remember it as is whatever Gail Kim calls it, which I've also managed to forget. That is pretty awful of me. There's the cover, but there's the win. Following Eat Defeat. There we go. I'll still have to find out the name of what Ruby Riot calls it, but there was a strong tag team victory, and once more Ruby Riot is able to get another win. 2 in 2 weeks for the newly debuting NXT superstar. That is how you start to make a name for yourself in this division already. Nikki Cross, you may best want to keep your wits about you, because this woman is looking pretty damn good. However, Ember Moon may not be too best pleased about the outcome of that match. Ruby Riot tagged herself in right to the end, so not too sure how she's going to feel about that, but regardless of that, we're going to move on now to the next contest. As Ruby Riot and Ember Moon celebrate their victory, it is now time for a fatal 4-way showcase match between let's get this one right again. Cedric Alexander, Booker T, Ty Dillinger, and Pentagon Jr. Well, it's an opportunity for all here. It's a show, a showcase match. I basically just did the same on ECW with the Money in the Bank opportunity, so it's not like there's anything weird about this kind of matchup. But it's going to be a tough one here, because in my mind, all 4 of these men, certainly in their own rights, are tough competitors. Cedric Alexander, perhaps gets perhaps may get a bad rep for outcomes that happened due to him. I mean, he was number 10 in the NXT Global Championship Battle Royal, but he was eliminated almost as soon as he got in the ring. People could say he dropped the ball, but it's just one of those things. It just kind of happens, I think. And Cedric perhaps may let those opportunities get away from him. Perhaps a Battle Royal just isn't his kind of matchup, maybe. But regardless of it, here tonight in this fatal, to just quickly defend Cedric, he's had some huge wins in the past. He's got a pinfall victory over the current NXT Global Champion, so he's certainly been able to do more than hold his own in the past. But now Booker T here, it's maybe one of the first times, or if not the first time, we've seen Booker T on NXT, but there's been a bit of demand for him, and the NXT committee, well, the NXT co-general managers have decided that it would be a good idea to bring him finally here on NXT and give the crowd what they want. So it'll be interesting to see what is going to happen in regards to that. Can he make a name for himself here in this fatal 4-way? It is not going to be an easy feat, of course, by any means necessary. There are tough talents all over the place in this matchup, with the likes of course, Pentagon Jr., I would argue, perhaps the toughest one to try and take on, but we'll see what's going to happen. Any 4 of these men really could win this matchup, theoretically. It's just all about who can put on the best performance when it matters. Who can go that extra mile to pick up a win. They should, with it being a showcase match, because with all 4 of these men not really getting the televised time they wanted, they should treat it as if it's a title match. And I think that may be the best thing for them. If you treat it like a title match, if you take it that seriously, you're going to do whatever it takes to try and get the win. And certainly for Ty Dillinger's sake, a win may be exactly what he needs in order to prove that the Perfect 10 is just that around here. Perfect 10, unfortunately for his sake, being sent down to NXT, but I believe it was a smart idea. It's so difficult, I think, in SmackDown's roster to get your name out there. It's going to be even more difficult to try and become a credible threat for a championship as well, given the champions that do indeed exist on the SmackDown brand right now. I mean, just look at the singles champions, Shinsuke Nakamura and Bobby Fish. In what world are they easy, in what world, are they easy by any stretch of the imagination to try and take on? They're just not. Plain and simple. But Ty Dillinger will try and make NXT his place. Try and make NXT a perfect 10 for him. And there's the cue card, just to illustrate it. Well, we await one more man here. One man left to come out in this one. And that is straight out of... That is fresh from NXT. From ECW even, my apologies. This was the man who, well, he just couldn't get anything going on the NXT when it mattered. It was just difficult to, like I said, NXT again, I meant ECW. It was just difficult for him to get his name out there, I think, and that's what made him struggle so much. And I do kind of feel bad for Pentagon Jr., but it's just one of those cases where he just could not stand out. He could not put on the kind of shows he was able to produce on SmackDown in the past. Just did not work for him. But hopefully here for his sake on NXT, and I would like to see him succeed as well on NXT, that he can pick up a win. He can just do something when it matters on this brand. The bell rings and we are underway here. Let's see who'll go after who. So it's going to be Booker and Ty, and then Pentagon Jr. and Cedric Alexander. This one's going to be an interesting one then. We've got the two people who were sent down, taking on two people still in NXT. Well, who were in NXT when this series of Universe got underway. Going to be difficult to try and keep our eye on everything, but that is exactly what the referee's got to do in this matchup as well. Keep his eyes on both the action that takes place here, on the action that takes place both inside and outside of the ring. It is a Falls Count Anywhere matchup after all. So that may be a difficult one, but Pentagon Jr. they're just kind of shrugging off whatever Cedric Alexander hoped for there and just trying to continue on here, but it's a good counter. Ty Dillinger and Booker T right now going a little bit back and forth. Good start thus far. Cedric Alexander now getting the fight back on against Pentagon Jr. Booker T takes the opportunity, rolls outside of the ring. And Ty Dillinger's going to capitalize on. He's going to go for Cedric Alexander here. And that leaves Pentagon Jr. with Booker T now on the outside. As opposed to, potential double teams being used on one to gain an advantage. That is 100% not what Pentagon Jr. likes to do. He likes to take people out on his own. He likes to leave their wrath on them by himself. And there's, into the back. Into the barricade went Booker T there as Cedric Alexander went flying. Back in the ring. Now Cedric Alexander has been able to deflate Ty Dillinger's hot start that he got off to. And meanwhile on the outside, now finally back on the inside, Pentagon Jr. just all over Booker T right now. Not going that well for Booker, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better either. Double knee powerbomb. As if it was ProJaked Ciampa being hit. Cover right after it from the moment Cedric rolled out of the ring. There's the pin, and thankfully for the guys on the outside and his own sake, Booker T kicks out of that one. But it may only be temporary. Pentagon driver on the way, and he nails it. The Pentagon driver. And I believe the move that will gift Pentagon Jr. an easy victory here. And he's done just that. That was a dominant way of making his debut on NXT. Didn't even clash with Ty Dillinger, but that does not matter. What a debut for Pentagon Jr. This is what I wanted. I wanted him to prove me wrong. I wanted him to show me that sending him down was a bad idea. And now, Pentagon Jr., just like Bret Hart maybe, will take his anger out on the superstars around here and make himself a name and a face to be reckoned with in this universe. So that being said, that is just what I wanted to see. Thank you, Pentagon Jr. Keep it going. And hopefully, for his sake and our sake, we get to see some incredible matches because of him. We'll find out as time goes on, but we're going to move on now to our main event of the evening. NXT Global Championship up for grabs. It is going to be one hell of a night. It is going to be one hell of a matchup. EC3 and Bret Hart in a rematch from last week. EC3 picked up the win in a non-title match. Can he do it when it counts? We are going to find out. I want to take you back to what happened a little earlier in the night. The cameras were rolling backstage at this moment. EC3 warming up ahead of this match, and there's Bret Hart, and just boom, plain and simple, slapped him in the face. Complete lack of respect by Bret Hart showing, but that may come back to bite him in the arse. We'll find out in just a moment. It is time for your main event. Will we be crowning a new NXT Global Champion? Let's find out. Well, make no mistake about it, there is going to be no love lost between these two men. There is going to be no test of strength. There's going to be no respect between either one of these two. It is just going to be these two men wanting to beat the other one down, wanting to prove that they should be NXT Global Champion. EC3 has already forced the anger out of Bret the Hitman Hart, and here tonight we're going to find out if EC3 is able to use that anger to his advantage and to gain his first singles championship within this universe. It was a really good match between those two last week, and I mean, it may have been overlooked by the the debuts that took place around them, but it was an entertaining matchup, and you can see certainly the effect it's had from it, just from that slap backstage by Bret Hart, and the fact that this is a title matchup already, just what, 2 weeks after that title was brought into place by the NXT co-general managers. EC3, who we can pretty much say in regards to people on the NXT brand was the runner-up, now the Rich Swann's on ECW. He was inches away from winning it until Bret the Hitman Hart snuck up from behind and threw him over the top rope. But now, here with no over the top rope, with no other man involved, of course, and with the victory he picked up last week, can EC3 make it 2 in a row? And can he become the new NXT Global Champion? You can see him there slapping his face. He's in the moment. He is ready. He wants to become what Bret Hart is right now, NXT Global Champion. Exactly what Bret Hart wanted. Following, his hatred for being sent down to NXT. And now, Bret can prove all the doubters wrong. Can prove all those who say that he doesn't deserve that title wrong. While those worries, those calls may have been increased last week when Bret was defeated by EC3, he's going to look to just put that behind him and move on and just get this out of the way and get the victory over EC3. There it is, the NXT Global Championship anyway, up for grabs. A nice flap there, flappy strap. With these two men now anxiously waiting for that bell to ring. They're just going to have to stand here for a moment as I try and find EC3's belly button. I just realized I can't find it, but anyway. You can see, look at the stare on EC3. Look at the response from Bret. Both these men almost trying to stare into the soul of the other. Really just try and get into the head of their opponent. Try and force their opponent to make a mistake before this matchup even begins. That NXT Global Championship has one hell of a glisten on it, and certainly has the Hitman's mark on it. Maybe the first ever NXT Global Champion wanting to hold on to that belt. Will he be able to do so by the end of tonight and by the end of this matchup? There's the title that we're fighting for. Let's see who is going to be just that. Who is going to be the NXT Global Champion? Well, let's find out, because the bell rings and we are underway here. And EC3 exploded out of the blocks there. Wanted to go right after Bret. Quick counter, but it's EC3 who gets off to a better start maybe. Elbow drop now with Bret down on the ground. But Bret is quick up to his feet, and now here goes. The excellence of execution just exploding away there with a couple of strikes. But look how quickly EC3 responds. DDT, and Bret goes down, but only for a moment. There's the wrestling expertise of Bret as he nails that dragon screw. Sends him down and now stomping away on the leg there of EC3. This matchup already getting off to an incredible back and forth start thus far. Overhead belly to belly. Bret down in a bit of a pickle in the corner and quickly rolls out of the ring to catch his breath and to try and gain an advantage on EC3 as well. Smart work there by the Hitman. EC3 kind of walked into that one, and as a result, his gut is sent into that steel barricade. That gave Bret just what he wanted. The opening that he needs now to try and get something going in this match. And there is just a total lack of respect by the Hitman, choking EC3 there. And almost demanding him to get back up to his feet and to continue fighting. What an explosive start we have in this matchup thus far. And it's continuing on here. Once more, another suplex there by EC3. Into the first cover of this matchup. Not going to be anything major, but he's looking to try and... Oh! He is looking to try and psych out Bret, maybe. Broke up the pin there and now continues to go to work here. Bret having a bit of difficulties. Jawbreaker. But it seems as if when they're on the mat, EC3 cannot gain the advantage that he wants over Bret the Hitman Hart, and that's not really too much of a surprise, to be fair. This is a Hart after all. Bret knows exactly what he's doing in that ring. Beautiful move there from the top rope, and Bret giving himself some more room before hitting that leg drop. Good idea, and it's Bret Hart into the cover now. There's a count of one, and returning the favor is Bret Hart. Both men disrespecting one another in the moment, and that I like. Just goes to show they're not letting one another get in each other's head. And if they are, well, they're returning the favor right away. Bret now, with EC3 way up in the air for a lovely stalling suplex there in the middle of the ring. Bret just kind of negotiating his way right now around EC3, working on all the vital parts, and certainly, as perhaps the most important of all in the mind of Bret Hart, those legs of EC3. What he needs to lock in that sharpshooter to retain that global championship. And now look, EC3 mocking Bret Hart earlier by standing in the corner. And does EC3 stay on the offense or what with a headbutt like that? Bret though quick to fight back, elbow into the gut, but it's countered by EC3 in the corner now. This one looking like it's going to be a good one. What a European uppercut there by EC3. Certainly able to keep the fight going at all moments within this matchup. Truly back and forth thus far. I couldn't tell you who's winning on points or whatever. I couldn't tell you who's in control in this one. EC3 now goes for the cover. Will we have an actual legitimate one? Yes, we will. Because Bret the Hitman Hart, they're kicking out at one. EC3, camel clutch here on Bret. I mean, he could try all he want, but you're not going to get Bret to tap out, to be fair. But it's certainly a way to try and get into the mind of the Hitman and prove that he has submission game of his own. Bret, though, not take it too kindly to that. And low blow by Bret. Not a surprise, though, we're seeing that once more. Bret with the low blow into the cover, but EC3 kicks out. Bret a little bit annoyed by that one, but will he stay on the offense here? It seems so. He drags him more so towards the middle of the ring, so Bret can lock it in. Turns it over. Sharpshooter on EC3. This one could be over here. Bret Hart now with it locked in on EC3. Imagine all the pain that's going on due to that low blow as well. Bret used an underhanded tactic to his advantage to spoil a perfectly good main event and to hold on to the NXT Global Championship. Once more, the referee does not intervene on the low blow, does not call for the DQ, and it means that Bret Hart is still your NXT Global Champion. But I feel as if there is still a level of unfinished business between these two men. If I was the NXT co-general managers, I would not let the matchup end this way. I would not let this be the case. I would certainly schedule a rematch down the line. Maybe try and amp it up even for the next takeover. I mean, it is quite a while until we have it, but you never know. Maybe that's what they want to do, but depends on what they have in mind. And, okay. Alright, I'm being told that the whole NXT, this championship fiasco will continue on next week. Yeah, it is going to continue on next week when the NXT Women's Championship is going to be defended. Nikki Cross will go one-on-one against against Ruby Riot. So following Riot's 2 victories in a row, she is going to get a title opportunity already. Is it too early for her, or can she upset us all? And can she upset everyone, including Nikki Cross, and take that NXT Women's Championship away? Tune in next week to find out. I'm also being told that the NXT Champion, Kazuchika Okada, will be in action. So do not miss next week's episode of NXT. That'll end this episode, Universe. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys, and ta-ra.